Hello, I'm Kathleen Hall, and this is The Way I See It.
Hello, I'm Ken Pierre, and this is the way I see it.
Well, today, since we have the Olympics going on, Toyota has had... USA. Yeah, we look really... We should have worn red, white, and blue. Who wasn't thinking?
We wasn't thinking.
Okay, well, we'll think red, white, and blue.
Really?
Anyway, Start Your Impossible. Start Your Impossible is a theme Toyota's using for the Olympics and all of their advertising. So I kind of thought it'd be a great thing, instead of just watching the Olympics, and we're beginning Lent and the 40-day thing, that maybe it's time for you to start thinking about starting your impossible.
Yep.
Whatever that is. And in saying that, congratulations to Chloe Kim, who won the snowboarding thing. I think it's called the gold. She got gold in the half pipe.
Half pipe, yep.
And it shows how cool I am. But I did watch her. This chick is she's unbelievable. It's just absolutely incredible. And it's pretty cool that she's Korean and she won.
Annyeonghaseyo, Koreans out there. Annyeonghaseyo.
Oh, he was in Korea.
I used to live in Korea. In South Korea, yeah.
He served his country and worked very hard at the, is it called a DMZ?
At the DMZ, yeah.
Yes.
It was at the demilitarization zone. Scary, to say the least.
Talk about stress. Bless these people. So anyway, that's what we wanted to talk about, was Start Your Impossible and the power of inspiration, and where do you get your inspiration. And so kind of to kick it off, I've gotten mine. I grew up with a father who every night on the kitchen table, I was a little girl, we lived in a teeny house, but my bedroom was down the hall, and he had everything from Dale Carnegie to Think and Grow Rich tapes, and he would play them all night long. So I would, be back there, Dare to Be Great, and I'd go to bed with Dare to Be Great, Do the Impossible. So I was this little tyke growing up, and I'd probably wake up in the morning with all these subliminal messages of all of that my dad, he was a salesman, he was a great salesman, and he really did. He fed himself, he nourished himself all the time. Affirmations. He read Dale Carnegie, took the courses, Norman Vincent Peale. He really did. He lived it. So he did that and tapes, and so we were all part of that. And then also he would take us, or especially me, I was one of the oldest, on his route with him, whether he was selling crackers or cookies or milk or whatever series of his life he was on. He made sure that we saw how that inspiration changed people's lives and motivated you into selling things. And he was of the philosophy, he didn't care if you were a doctor or a lawyer or worked at a service station. Every one of us are salespeople every day of our lives. So tell me about your experience with inspiration.
I feel like I get inspiration from many sources: music, art, and definitely when I was in the military, from my leaders. Because my leaders were people that inspired by how they lived, not just their words. Because there's leaders that talk a good game, but they don't really, bring it. So, especially when you're on the battlefield, just simple words like, come back alive. What else do you expect me to do? Of course I'm going out there to come back alive. You know what I mean? So, it's the simple things like the sun rising, being able to be up and see the sunrise again. Breathtaking, you know what I mean?
So that inspired you.
Inspiration, like little things.
Well, that's
feeling
nature.
Feeling the wind, in any place on the world, in the world, it just feels good.
Do you think, like a lot of us wake up in this country, and the reason that it's unawareness and it's not mindful maybe, and that's what we talk about in our company and in what we do, is that we get up and we don't really are aware of that sun on our face or the wind or the...
You never had a reason to appreciate it. So if you don't go through traumatic events and everything is all peaches and cream, I feel like a lot of people won't ever experience that until something is either radically changed by force, or you have to seek out that change.
Well, and what I've loved about the Olympics is the backstories. So if you watch the Olympics, it's very interesting. Some of these people lived in their trucks and their cars injuries. I mean, Lindsey Vaughn, how many surgeries? Look at her body with the scars. And I mean, these people, financial challenges, a lot of them come from very meager means, and their parents have given they don't have $1 in retirement. They've given every single thing to sacrifice for their children. So, boy, when you look at those Olympics, there's so many combinations and permutations of inspiration. Fall down 40 times, get up 41. It's really, really important. Okay. So, and part of what we want to do with what Ken and I do, with the way I see it, and all the things that we do is inspire you and help you with some tips and some of our real life experiences, which are very different. So one of the biggest things is inspirational books. I talk to you a lot about, I read presidential histories a lot and other histories.
I'm a fan now.
Yeah. And he's
reading Grant.
He's reading Grant, and the new Grant book is just incredible. And they don't you, it's really inspirational. Keep a book by your bed. And so before you go to bed, I'm not going to say negative things about Stephen King or being terrified before you go to bed, but I will. But read something inspirational. These people have overcome unbelievable odds, and whether they make you laugh, cry, rethink your life, don't ever underestimate the power of inspirational books. And also when you're in your car, most of us have long commutes. Get inspirational downloads. Podcasts are huge now.
Audible. Read it. Listen to a book being read to you.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, that's amazing. And download inspirational people that you want to know about. I did Steve Jobs that way. And it's absolutely, if you haven't read his book, you got to read it too. It's absolutely amazing, his life. Quotes. You and I talk about this. I'll be doing something and I'll text him a quote, won't I? On the weekends when we don't see each other.
In a heartbeat.
And I'll see things and make Jim or I stop the car and take a picture of it. Quotes are really important. And again, I tell people, keep them in the bathroom while you're brushing your teeth. Before you go to bed and you turn off your light, see something that goes into your brain. When you get up in the morning, keep it inspiration. And it doesn't have to be pages, just one little quote, one little space that when you wake up in the morning. And he knows I even have them in all the bathrooms.
You do.
Every bathroom has glasses, a set of glasses, and inspirational books. Because I don't want to miss an avenue for you to get inspired. The tables by our couches
all have little coasters. Even our coasters. Some of them coasters got.
Yeah, courage propels us to action. What is? Oh, yours is an angel.
Yeah, it's just an angel.
But yeah, even those have inspirational sayings on them. And then biographies and find a hero. I think it's really important. Grant's become one of my heroes of my life. And I thought he was just a guy, president. Why would I want to? He's a dead president. What could he possibly do for me? And I was watching a PBS show, and I don't know if it was Ken Burns, who's very famous for his shows. And he said that he was listed as one of the worst or the worst president that, ever lived. And I went, really?
There's no way if you have a dollar bill after you that you're one of the worst presidents.
So I went, oh, Ulysses Grant. And then my husband and I looked at each other and said, I don't know anything about him. And so it's really interesting. Harriet Tubman. I'm in the middle of Harriet Tubman. I'm not in the middle. I'm in the end of my third biography and my slave narratives. And now I'm obsessed with her. So, find heroes and real life heroes. They don't have to be dead. It's amazing. And have your children. Your husband, your wife, I don't care who you are, co-workers, ask them who their heroes are. And if they don't have one, say, shame on you. Everybody needs to have at least one hero or a whole. Even my husband talks about having baseball cards as they grew up. And he always had them in his pocket, and they traded cards and stuff, but you never traded to real heroes.
No.
And so he can go back and talk about baseball players and what they meant to him and whether he was going through a horrible time with asthma or a challenge in his own life. He relied on those heroes and would pull out those little baseball cards.
That's deep. I like that. I used to do that.
So we all need heroes. And I'm sure even when you were in the service, sometimes you had to pull deep to find heroes to emulate also.
And most heroes would not be, your heroes are simple family members, or people that have went through valiant efforts to.
That's true.
Be where they're at, even to be there.
That's a good point. That's a really good point too.
Like most of my heroes are people that aren't here.
Wow.
So
that's really cool. So, okay, start your impossible. It's the Olympic time, so with what Olympics we have left, which are a lot of them, let's watch them with passion, but not just look at them and observe them. How about if we absorb them and all of those wonderful, inspirational things that each one of us need every day in our life?
I agree. Well, guys, my name is Ken Pierre. This is the way that I see it.
I'm Kathleen Hall, and this is the way I see it. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great day.